Hey everybody, it's Randy Ray, the Literate Texan. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. You know what? There's been a lot of talk about the Booker Prize lately, I guess over the last month, and I guess they came out with their long list. I got to be honest with you, didn't even know what the Booker Prize was, but it turns out it's a literary award for best novel written in the English language, but it has to be published in the United Kingdom or Ireland. So, I don't know anything about the history of the awards. I just know that everybody was talking about it there for a while. And this is the exciting part to me is there's a quiz on the website, thebookerprizes.com. Which book from the Booker Prize 2023 long list should you read first? So I like taking quizzes. These kinds of quizzes are kind of funny or whatever, because I don't necessarily recognize all the books and the authors in the questions. So I'm going to take this quiz and see what happens here. It says, let's start. So I click on this button that says, let's start. And it says, which Booker winning author would you most like to recommend a book to you? Okay, so I got to pick, and there's a list here, big list. Ian McEwan, Penelope Fitzgerald, Ben Okri, John Banville, Margaret Atwood, Marlon James, Paul Beatty, Iris Murdoch, Anne Enright, Howard Jacobson, Roddy Doyle, Anna Burns, or Kazuo Ishiguro. And I don't know who most of these authors are, but I do like Margaret Atwood, so I'm going to go with her. Although, you know, I'd be almost as likely to go with Kazuo Ishiguro, which I've also read. But anyway, so I clicked on Margaret Atwood, and now I've got a new question that says, are you the sort of person who tends to dwell on the past, live in the present, or plan for the future? I'm going to say I'm the kind of person who lives in the present. Click. Which of these recent films have you enjoyed the most? Okay, this will be interesting. Barbie, I haven't seen. Oppenheimer, I saw and liked very much. Rye Lane, I've never heard of. Asteroid City, I haven't seen it. A Good Person, haven't seen. Cocaine Bear, haven't seen. Saint Omer. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. The Fabelmans. John Wick Chapter 4, Tar, or They Cloned Tyrone. Well, the only movie on this list that I've actually seen is Oppenheimer. So I guess by default, that's going to be my answer. Really liked it, though. Next question. Long books or short books? I'm going to go with that. Okay, so here are my options. Short and sweet, preferably. The longer, the better. Or a happy medium, please. I'm going to say a happy medium. The most interesting stories are told, ... That's an ellipses, I hear. Around the family dinner table, out at sea, deep in the countryside, deep in the past, by the Irish, or in the big city. I'm going to say the most interesting stories are told around the family dinner table. Who is the person you'd most like to discuss your next read with? The colleague with a mysterious past. The friend who thinks they understand technology better than the rest of us. The friend who is always talking about moving far away. The relative who is always complaining about the government. The friend who will watch any sport, however obscure. The acquaintance who's a terrible name dropper. The friend who is always complaining about their kids. I'm laughing at these responses because they all apply to me. I'm going to say I want to discuss my next read with the colleague with a mysterious past. Next question. If you're hoping for a powerful emotional or physical reaction, do you want this book to make me smile, make me cry, make me angry, make me thankful, open my eyes, or blow my mind? I guess I want my mind blown, so I'm going to go with that one. Are you drawn to fiction that helps make sense of the current state of the world? I don't know that I've read any fiction that helps make sense of the current state of the world. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the current state of the world is a mess, man. The options are yes, give me topicality and sharp observations about the mess we're in, or no, please give me a book to help me escape all this madness. I'm going with no, please give me a book to help me escape all this madness. Next question. Your ideal central character has a closet full of skeletons, is surprisingly well-traveled, is putting trauma behind them, is keeping it in the family. I'm going to say has a closet full of skeletons. Do you judge a book by its cover? Always or never? You know what? Everybody says they don't judge a book by its cover, but let's be real. Everybody does, always. Oh, wow, I finished already. That didn't even take 5 minutes. You should read Pearl by, I don't know how to pronounce this, Sion Hughes. And then it's got a paragraph about it here. It says, returning to live there after her mother's death, she borrowed from the medieval poem Pearl to write a story set in an old house she cycled past every day as a child. Her first collection of poetry, The Missing, was longlisted for the Guardian First Book Award, shortlisted for the Felix, Dennis, and Aldeburgh Prizes, and won the Seamus Haney Award. I don't know if I pronounced any of that right, but I'm just a poor old Texan. Pearl, her first novel, is longlisted for the Booker Prize in 2023. All right, so I'm going to go to Amazon right now. This is such a weird way to get a book recommended to me. But I need this because God knows I don't have anything on my TBR list, right? Okay, Pearl by Sion Hughes. There's an audiobook version here. You know, it's weird. Maybe it's because I have an Audible subscription, but every time I go to Amazon to look at a book, the Audible edition always comes up first. Looks like the paperback is $18.99. Here's a synopsis. So is this interesting or not? Marianne is 8 years old when her mother goes missing, left behind with her baby brother and grieving father in a ramshackle house on the edge of a small village. She clings to the fragmented memories of her mother's love, the smell of fresh herbs, the games they played, and the songs and stories of her childhood. As time passes, Marianne struggles to adjust, fixated on her mother's disappearance and the secrets she's sure her father is keeping from her. Discovering a medieval poem called Pearl and trusting in its promise of consolation, Marianne sets out to make a visual illustration of it, a task that she returns to over and over, but somehow never manages to complete. Tormented by an unmarked gravestone in an abandoned chapel in the tidal pool of the river, her childhood home begins to crumble as the past leads her down a path of self-destruction. But can art heal Marianne? And will her own future as a mother help her find peace? Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to, this won't even be released until September 19th. Well, I'm going to add it to my wish list then. Boom, there it is. Looks like it's not a long novel. Looks like it's only 224 pages. That gets points for that. Cover art's pretty. So yeah, I guess I'll give it a chance and see what it's all about. If I like it, maybe I'll read the other books on the long list. It looked like there were 13 or 14 books on the Booker long list. So I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to literary awards, although I've read a bunch of Hugo winning award novels, and I've also read a bunch of Pulitzer Prize winning novels. Also, the name Marianne. I think maybe it's pronounced Marianne. I don't know. But I worked with this French woman named Marianne once when I was working for Hotels.com. When she found out it was my birthday, she wrote me a letter on a plain piece of paper, but she sprayed it with her perfume before she put it in the envelope and gave it to me. One of the best birthday presents I've ever gotten. She was a very beautiful woman. And anyway, just a weird name, weird memory triggered by the name of that character from the book The Pearl, or Pearl. Not The Pearl. The Pearl's a John Steinbeck novel, which I also haven't read. Anyway, that's it for this video. I took a quiz. It chose a book for me. I'll probably make a sequel to this video where I review the book. Thanks for watching. Stay hydrated. It is hot out there, folks.